Welcome back. House Republicans have just spent 3 days on a retreat in Williamsburg, Virginia, getting some advice on how to turn the party around after losing another presidential election. One of the speakers they listen closely to has a record of success in Virginia, most recently with the state's 5.5 low unemployment rate. Virginia Governor Bob McDonnell joins me now. Well, first of all, congratulations on the economy in Virginia. It's to be envied around the country. What advice did you have for House Republicans? I think we're beginning to see one result, which is the offer of a short-term debt ceiling extension, that they don't want to engage in this second cliff battle with the White House right now.
Well, Andrea, good afternoon. Thanks for having me on. I told them a couple things. One is stick to your principles. We need a principled conservative party, not another liberal party. But secondly, find ways to talk about the kitchen table issues that people care about and solve problems and offer a clear contrast to the president about managing the finances of the United States of America. I think John Boehner and Eric Cantor are doing a good job working together, but it's clear after this last election that we've got to find ways to more carefully explain to people all year long why conservative principles work. So I think they'll do that, and I look forward to working with them as governors do around the country and getting things done.
Do you think, Governor, that after Newtown and the massacre there, that things have changed on guns and the possibility of some actions, background checks, some actions, even in a state that, such as yours, that has long been very supportive of the right to weapons? Can't we find some middle place between the White House and Congress on guns?
I think the first question, Andrea, is what are the policies that would actually work that would be able to help prevent the types of things that happen at Newtown? You know, we've got some experience, unfortunately, in Virginia after the tragedy of Virginia Tech 5 years ago. Governor Kane and I worked well together on mental health, on reporting disqualifications to the state police database on guns and a number of other things. And we found a way, I think, that's made a difference. I've signed an executive order here in Virginia to have a school safety task force. And we're looking at a host of things, but it focuses on mental health, on school safety, on security systems within the school, on school resource officers, because we think these things work.
What about background checks and the gun show loopholes and the fact 40 to 50% of guns sold, especially because of the secondary markets, have no background checks at all?
I'm not sure that number's accurate, but I would say looking at either Sandy Hook or looking at Virginia Tech, the gun show loophole had nothing to do with that. I know some are advocating for that. Virginia has as good a background check system as in the country. We have the third highest number of reports to the database to disqualify people based on mental health and criminal convictions. So we kind of think our system is working. We've had that debate over the gun show loophole, as you call it. It's really, do we want to regulate the private sales of firearms as opposed to the public sale? That's really the broader issue under the Second Amendment. So I think it's good to have that discussion. But Andrea, the question is not what makes you feel good, but what will actually work to be able to protect our kids. I have 5 kids. They've all gone through Virginia public schools. Let's find out what actually is going to keep them safe. And that's where our discussion is here in Virginia.
Let's talk about immigration. That's another issue. I don't know if it came up during your meetings or their House caucus meetings. Marco Rubio is out front with a plan that would have steps toward legalization, guest workers and other steps that people could take to eventually get green cards and eventually become citizenship. Do you think the party needs to take a completely fresh look at immigration, as Marco Rubio is suggesting?
Well, I think both parties need to take a fresh look at immigration, because you can't just focus on that. And I applaud Senator Rubio for trying to find a way, particularly to address issues with children who are caught up in some of the immigration debate. But Andrea, until we secure the borders and we actually find ways to enforce the current laws that are on the books with an understaffed and underfunded ICE, Immigrations and Customs Enforcement Agency, I think it's hard to get to the final step, and that is pathways to citizenship. And I think all these things are part of a solution. Look, I favor vastly more legal immigration. What we don't want is more illegal immigration, and neither do people that are here lawfully who've come from other countries. My grandfather came lawfully 100 years ago. We need more of that. We've got an arbitrary number of guest worker permits. We need to increase those to meet the economic needs of the country. So I think you got to talk about all of these together. But for the Republican Party, we've got to make sure we know that people are welcome in this country, that want to come here, work hard, play by the rules, expand the economy, and live the American dream. We want more of that.
Governor McDonnell, thank you so much. And we have to leave it there. Good to see you.